What's good? What's good? About a week ago, I made a video titled Metacognition and a Personal Admission. I think a lot about how I think. So, in a psychological, analytical sort of capacity, but then in an also sort of, I don't want to say epistemological capacity, but in a way of, I look at how my thoughts form, not just like why my thoughts form, the psychological and biological drivers behind them, but how they arise within my brain, how thoughts become these visual things that I see. I do that a lot, and part of that, I analyze my social relationships, particularly because over the last 10 years, I have lost connection with a lot of my social relationships. And some of it is not without merit. I was kind of a douche in my 20s. So some of the friends I lost, whatever. That expression, you are kind of who you surround yourself with. I wasn't surrounding myself with some of the best people. I still wish them the best. I have compassion, love, non-judgment. I'm trying to, at least. That's how I want to be about everyone. I want to be compassionate, non-judgment, and loving. But this thing called an ego makes it really hard. And this thing called the culture wars inflames the ego. So anyways, in that video, I talked about a male childhood friend that I had lost contact with and then had reached back out. And I just didn't even know how to engage with them. Principally because, and the title of this video is going to be something around intimacy. All intimacy right now is pretty much fake. If I have to pretend to be someone or hold back who I am to fit inside your life, then it's fake intimacy. However, I have one friend around the same time frame. She was in that same group that the male friend was in. This is a female friend. We have still stayed in touch a little bit. We text, not often, like not every week, but probably every month. And like sometimes we'll go like weeks where we talk a lot, and sometimes we'll go weeks where we don't. But it is always over text message. This friend is not woke, but she's also not awake. And so that is why it's easier for me to maintain a relationship with this person, because in a lot of ways, she's very much known for going with the flow. One of the things I love about her, one of the things she's always tried to teach me was just go with the flow. And that enables her to not connect with and identify with an ideology. She is a lesbian woman, or mostly lesbian, somewhat bi, mostly lesbian. She does teach at a college, so she should be, theoretically, peak leftist, but she's not, and I love her for it. And that's what makes it easier to maintain a relationship with her, because I can talk about my crazy conspiracies, and she doesn't judge. She might not agree. She might not even listen. Like, she might not even take half of it in. But there's no judgment. And not even that there's no judgment or no argument, but if there's no argument, like, you're wrong, Andrew, it's just, okay, that's interesting. And I appreciate that. Because if you just tell someone they're flat out wrong, they're gonna resist that. That's why conversation and civil discourse is something that I preach, that I desire, that I yearn to participate in. However, this friend tried calling me. Oh my God, don't fucking call me. Oh man, do not call me. Because I'm smiling right now. Yeah, okay, easy. So you might think I'm okay, but there's a certain level of dialogue or conversation that I just cannot participate in right now. And it's the very simple, hey, how are you? I fucking hate being asked that question. Because if I'm being honest, I'm not okay. But people just don't understand that. They think because I'm breathing, because I'm walking, because I'm smiling, that I'm okay. And particularly women. And just so you're whatever, there is absolutely a difference between men and women. One is not better than the other. No. But men and women are different in a lot of ways. We're similar in a lot of ways. Communication is one of the ways we are very, very different. And so this friend would want to talk about, like, my life. How are things going? Tell me about this. Tell me about that. And most men, particularly that I've interacted with, I don't know why I've been saying particularly a lot lately. It's a new development. We're rolling with it. Most men that I've interacted with, specifically the ones who are in dark places, don't want to just sit and chit-chat about it. Because it's like just picking a scab to them. Because if they have a problem and they are unable to solve it, to respond to it, that is a very defeating, that is a very incapacitating, overwhelming sensation and feeling. And by sitting and talking about it, you're just making it worse. You are amplifying the problem that the man can do nothing about. Or he is doing something about it, but it's just going to be a long, arduous journey. And so when you wonder why sometimes men are quiet and stoic, it's because they are on a long, arduous journey. And they don't want to stop and chit-chat about it. They want to trudge on. And this friend wants to talk about things, and I don't. I make these videos, these are almost like more of a cry for help than anything else. So many men right now feel helpless. There is no future for them. The average guy, now anomalies exist and diversity is part of the human experience. So we should encourage people to explore self-actualization and individuation. However, averages exist and they're totally okay to use as a baseline. So the average guy really just wants to have a partner. He wants to have a family. And he wants to live a good, decent life. But the globalists have ruined that. In America, you used to be able to support a primary family, and some guys even could support a secondary family on one job, on one income. Nowadays, 2 jobs doesn't even support one family. And this is all intentional. It is all by design. The globalists have been for literally more than decades. I don't think America was ever truly free. That's the first point. And then the next point is, no, that's just the main point. We've never ever truly been free. There have always been globalists and bankers who continue to manipulate material conditions. Excuse me. So if there's a man in your life that is struggling and you just can't get him to talk about it, it's because he doesn't want to talk about it. He wants to work out of his darkness. Men will open up when working on projects. That is why mental health efforts, endeavors that put men in groups where they work on projects together, that's where men will open up because they're doing something. They are actively trying to change their circumstances. Men and women are different. I'm sorry if that bugs you to say. Don't try to talk to your man or a man in your life like you would another woman. Honor him as an individual and seek to greet and meet him at his level as an individual. And this is another thing that women do that I want to throw out there real quick. Nobody watches these videos, so I can just say this. But this is something women do, where they will project their desire to communicate and connect onto men and expect a reciprocity, a reciprocal relationship. They're projecting personal desires and wants and expectations onto the relationship instead of embarking upon seeing what the relationship can offer. So they're expecting certain behavior from men that men are incapable of providing, or when they try, it's really awkward and it makes men just flustered. The same can be said about men and women, men to women though. Don't try to talk to the women in your life like you would talk to the men in your life. Unless, of course, that's how they as an individual prefer to be talked to. And that's where you, in the building of the relationship, will learn. But don't project onto people expectations. Embark unto them open-minded with what they are willing and wanting to give. Don't try to take more than they can give. There's a really beautiful Tao Te Ching quote. Oh, let me see if I can quote it real quick and then I'll end the video. It's been long. Do not try to take something before it is ready to be given. Nope, that's not it. I'm going to have to do a whole other video on it now. But essentially, it's damn it, Tao Te Ching. Peace.